We don't serve their kind here.
This little one's not worth the effort. Come, let me get you something.
You want to buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
Hello, hello, hello. Howdy everyone and welcome to Limited Tirade. Just kidding, welcome to the first episode of the Skrantina, where we're going to get guests to the channel on and talk Star Wars. Make sure you are getting a bevy. This is the Skrantina, so you have to order something, whether it be Karelian whiskey or whatever, a Jamba Juice, right? Let us know what you're drinking in chat.
That cheeseburger you do not want.
I do not want that cheeseburger.
Those fries give Yoda.
Here, have my fries.
Your drink desire you not.
The Diet Pepsi, I do want.
Want you not.
Do
Not want.
This summer, grab a Diet Pepsi and see Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Awesome. Let's get the camera on and we'll see who's in chat. First up, first of all, thanks for being here, folks. It's good to see you. I hope you're having a good day. First up, we actually had SWA. He said he couldn't make the stream, but he'll catch the replay. So cheers, dude. Next up, we had Oddball, who said, the elusive Decrepit. Finally, someone got this guy to stream. Aye. Occasionally, he will do a stream, won't he? And then we've got Nasal Servant Arc saying, Monsieur Decrepit. Howdy, Nasal. We've got Decrepit turning up. He actually turned up. He didn't cancel with 1 hour notice. Fistful of dollars. I think that was actually from the second one. Is that a few dollars more? I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right, everyone greeting Decrepit. That's awesome. Double A, how are you here? You're my alt account. He's saying Frozen McShill is out at it again. He thinks Ahsoka was decent. We'll leave him to Melvin, won't we? Naso's on the H2O. That's what we drink here, eh? H2O for the H2O lore. Aye, that's true. You've already got the twin sons aging you faster, right? You don't need the alcohol on top of it. Oh, Seth's here. Seth, pour us a drink, dude. Cheers, Oddball. Nice one. So, let's see. We've got a bit of a special stream today. We're hanging out with a fellow Star Wars fan, and we're going to get a little bit of insight into his fandom, his history with the franchise, and yeah, just talk real Star Wars, right? It'll be good. Scran's on the Stein, a Stein of IPA, so we'll take a swig. And let's see. Our guest tonight is someone who's been around since almost day one. And he was in the chat during my first ever live stream, back when I thought like no one would even show up, right? So he's awesome. He's a friend of the channel, a huge friend of the channel, and an awesome creator in his own right. And before we jump into the conversation, make sure you all go and subscribe to Decrepit, and yeah, go over to his channel and show him some support as well. So we'll play his intro clip and then we'll get him in to chat with us. Here we go.
Oh,
Sick. Now, if one of the mods can link his channel, that would be awesome. Let's bring him on in. There he is. Hello, Decrepit.
What's up, man? That intro was awesome. It had me dying laughing. Thank you.
I knew you'd appreciate like the Clint Eastwood stuff, and I
I
remember
especially like how I got censored with the
Oh yeah. So let's see. Yeah. Anyway, I thought but yeah, if someone can put his link in the chat, that'd be awesome.
I know I was going to link myself, but I'm trying not to be a mod right now while I'm talking.
You have the ability. Oh, there's Luke UK turn up. Howdy, dude. Good to see you. So, before we like deep dive into Star Wars, I wanted to give Decrepit a chance to kind of talk about his own channel, kind of glaze it a little bit, and you know, just let us know what kind of content you do over there.
Oh, right now? Okay, yeah, of course. Well, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I was waiting for you to look up with like a cue. Yeah, man, shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you for having me on, Scran. I really appreciate it, man, first and foremost. Shout out to everybody that said hello to me and cheers and all that. I want to point out I am a poser because this man, Scran, I had no idea he had the Stein on full on the side. So I only had one little measly can of PBR on the side. So definitely a poser when it comes to the first Skrantina. So I'll have to rectify that later on. But yeah, man, I'm Decrepit. Like he said, I've been around here since he started streaming here on YouTube. I've been a fan of all Scran's content, and he's definitely a purveyor and an appreciator of original Star Wars content and things that George Lucas was the creation of. And I really admire like the format and the way that you do things on your channel. It's very clean cut, straight to the point, and you don't mince words as well. So I just wanted to say that, glaze you a little bit. If you guys aren't already, make sure you're going to subscribe to Scran. If you're just a lurker, please hit like and share.
Oh, but cheers,
yeah, of course, always. But yeah, I do not want to sit here and glaze my channel a lot, given that I haven't dropped a whole lot of content in like 2 or 3 months. So I can't sit here and I'd be a fraud, like on some fraud speed stuff. You know, I definitely would like to come out with some more content. But for those of you guys that know, I did start a live stream series called Unlimited Tirade with 2 of the most favorable Aussies that you can find on the internet, that being Mr. Narrow Dark and Captain Keeley. Shout out to those 2 guys. We really need to get back together and continue that show. But the replays are available if anyone wants to go back and hear a lot of our nonsense and artisan talk that we've been doing over a lot of the Star Wars content. We have the Revenge of the Sith special that we had Fractured Filter on, so definitely go check that out. I have a couple video essays, nothing too long. My videos only like range from about like 2 to 5 minutes a piece. And it was just a few things that I really felt strongly about. And I definitely want to lean towards covering more things. But as we all know, Star Wars has been fragmented and definitely dilapidated by the brand of being owned by Disney. And, you know, that's no news to everybody at all. So I definitely want to cover more things that I get angry and want to like just rant about. But, you know, real life and the time that I need to take to set aside to make YouTube content, it just has to appear better in my favor. So I definitely will promise to come out with some more content eventually, but in the meantime I do have a few things that you can go check out and gander at. But awesome. I appreciate everybody that's subbed so far, and I will try to make the sub worth it in the future.
Yeah, we need to get him to the first like 100 milestone. He's pretty close. So
yeah, I think I'm like what, like 14 shy of 100.
Yeah. So, go sub to Decrepit, and you mentioned the Unlimited Tirade. That's more like Star Wars based stuff. Those are really good streams. Like you mentioned the Revenge of the Sith one. Like that's been one of my favorite streams. It was just very like, you could tell it was like fans of the thing talking about it. You know, it's not like going over.
It was funny because it oh God, we'll get to that.
We'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah. I definitely wanted that stream to like lean towards like talking about the movie the book and the video game and like some other things and tied in between, but it ended up just turning into a 4-hour spiel of us like just gooning over the novel. Like it honestly
it went straight into the book, and then
yeah, like we love that book so much, man. Like the audiobook, the unabridged audiobook is such a, you need to go listen to it if you haven't already. And I've read that book, I want to say about like 3 or 4 times now in my life, and it gets better and better. Along with like Darth Plagueis, that book just gets better and better every time you read it.
I'm doing it in a weird, because obviously like I'm a big fan of the Labyrinth of Evil. The next book that I'm going to read is actually Dark Lord. I've not read it yet, so Dark Lord, Rise of Darth Vader.
Okay.
Yeah, and then so what I'm saying is the order's messed up. I'm going to read that, and then I'm going to go back and finish Revenge of the Sith, because I'm only a few chapters in. So, and I got sidetracked with other stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, like listening to you guys talking about it, like that's the kind of content I like. It's making you want to dive into this stuff, not talking about it like it's a chore, you know.
Yeah, we try to cover other things aside from Star Wars. I wanted to kind of lean it to like a multi-topic kind of like podcast kind of thing. That way, like more than just Star Wars fans could be drawn into it. But at the end of the day, our hearts lie with Star Wars pretty much at the center and the core of it. So it always goes back to Star Wars.
And back to my main point, like you talked about Unlimited Tirade, but you also do the hangout with your floppy streams, which I think they're really cool, because it's like I'm not a big comic book reader, but like my big thing is like when people are passionate about stuff and they talk about, when people are knowledgeable about what they're talking about, that interests me. So like I think it's a good touch that you're actually like consuming like kind of newer comic runs as well, and just kind of giving your take on like newer stuff that you're reading. It's not just like
man. I definitely try my best to like give like honesty when I do the comic book talk things, but I'm very biased at the same time, and I'll admit it. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I definitely prefer a lot of the older comic runs, like I want to say like the 90s and back are some of the best written comic books to ever like be on the face of this planet. And we have a lot of guys that are writing and in charge of a lot of comic book IPs that really shouldn't be running them. But that's just neither here nor there. As fans, we just have to roll with the punches on a lot of things. But I definitely like to sound like I know what I'm talking about for the most part, because I definitely don't know everything, but it's definitely a passion.
That's what you like when someone's a fan of something, you can tell when like that they know what they're talking about. They don't have to try, so it's not. Again, I'll use Star Wars Theory as an example. The guy doesn't know what he's talking about, and you can tell when he's so unenthusiastic about everything. So I've
never seen someone who looks so bored to talk about something that they grew up with and they claim to love. Like he just seems so bored of it. He just wants to sling those sabers. It's all good. We know what it is.
That's a pretty good segue. I'll quickly see who's hopped in chat, and then we'll get into the nerd theory. Steve Kenobi's here. Labyrinth of Evil, Revenge of the Sith, Dark Lord, Kenobi, a perfect quadrilogy.
I agree.
Tacking Kenobi on the end of that's a good idea. Yeah, awesome. Plus, they look good on the shelf. They look good on the shelf. They're all that kind of orangey black kind of color. So,
do you have a copy of that book yourself?
Kenobi.
Yeah.
It is. It's in the States. Little Jana's taking it with her.
No worries. It's still in the possession.
I think she's got all. I think it's just Kenobi. She's got
right on. Gotcha.
And she's got your copy of Shadows of the Empire hardcover.
Oh man, stop.
Let's see. Gordon McDonald's in here saying howdy. Good to see you, Gordon. And I think that's everyone new. So
shout out to Gordon. What's up?
You were saying you were listening to the nerd theory and you had a few things to say about it. A few choice things, maybe.
Look, I gave a disclaimer to Scran before the stream started. I'm going to try my hardest and my darndest to not swear on his channel. I know Scran can. He lets a few here and there. Like I haven't really heard him cuss a whole lot, but I definitely will try my best. But yeah, I know you said you only you kind of maybe gandered at like a couple things, or you didn't really
I
watch
watched
it.
like a couple minutes in, and I think I might have caught the back end of the meltdown.
So it's around when you watch last night's episode that they did of Nerd Theory over on Star Wars Theory's channel. It's around like the 28 minute mark that
Oh, really?
Josh from Den of Shills, or he calls it the Den of Nerds, but we all know we call him Den of Shills. And he began to basically go on his own little tangent about Melvin from the Knights of Melvin. And I'm a fan of Melvin. I'm a fan of what Melvin stands for and what he does. And I don't particularly go that route when I'm doing my own content. I save him. I let him handle a lot of that kind of things, like attacking the shills, making them triggered and all what have you. Like, I think that's rightfully so. You should, because these people are frauds. These people are fake. And I definitely don't have a problem with that. So he basically it all started last week that they did their other episode where someone mentioned Melvin, and then he was like, "Oh, there's no beef. There's no beef. Like, we can bring Melvin on." But then he proceeds to get very emotional last night around when someone brings up Melvin. Oh no, actually, I'm correcting myself. Theory says to check something in the Discord, and I think it was a link, or he was showing Josh that he was going to send the link to Darth Melvin to join the show.
Oh, right, yeah.
And Josh immediately deaded it and downed it, and he said, he said no, like, he's like, I'm not talking to him. And then he said basically, "Oh, like, let's get it out in the open. I'm not trying to be rude, but you're a weirdo." And then proceeds to talk a gang of shit about this man, Darth Melvin, on this one-sided platform where he can just go off in tangent. And Theory's honestly not even paying attention to him half the time he's going on this tangent. He's kind of like looking down at his phone, checking text messages, probably fulfilling China Saber orders. I don't know, man.
I noticed that even when I used to watch his channel, he wasn't paying attention. You know what I mean?
No, he's very disinterested. The only time that you see him perk up is when he starts reading super chats. So
or he hears him talking about Anakin or something. He's like,
yeah, he perks up when it's something that he's supposed to care about all of this, but then proceeds to
superficially recognizing.
Spreading the fake news agenda that, oh, Star Wars is dead. There's nothing going on in Star Wars. Like, if you weren't such a fucking fake, I already slipped. Sorry. But if you weren't such a fake fan, that you always claim that you're such a diehard fan, then you would be able to dive into these books, these multimedia projects, and be never bored with the content that you're consuming. And you'd be able to expose your audience to more than just like an 8-minute video, something you leaked off of or copied off of Wikipedia. So I really find that funny to me. And Josh proceeds to go on this tangent, and he said, it's kind of hypocritical as well, the way that he goes about it, because he says that he'll talk to anyone unless they're being disrespectful. And I'm like, well, like, part of it is like you can talk to someone and they can say disrespectful things to you, but you don't have to lose your cool. Like, you can be a grown man about things and sit there and just let somebody go off and let somebody like rant. And I've let multiple people yell in my face, and I've had a straight face and just sat there and I'm like, okay, like, I see how you feel. I'm going to disagree with you and we'll just part ways and just call it a day.
The real problem for these guys is that what's being said is true, and they can't counteract it.
Oh no, I know. And then it becomes just an emotional mess. And like, just seeing, like, I'm assuming this guy's in like his 30s or whatever. I'm assuming he's like in like the age range the same as Star Wars Theory, because Star Wars Theory is like 31, 33 or something like that, in that ballpark. But yeah, it's very funny to me. And he proceeds to just like talk all this shit and says like things like, oh, I can be disrespectful, but it's playful. And then he says, he keeps on ragging on it. Like, Theory is not really talking anything about this. It's all Josh. It's all him just going off about this.
Theory considers Melvin a friend. He doesn't stick up for his friends ever.
Theory honestly knows that Melvin talks shit, but he looks at assuming what I'm not saying this about Melvin personally, but I'm thinking he looks at Melvin as like a commodity, a thing in the Star Wars community that's like necessary, and that he's there and he doesn't really like harm him. But at the same time, they're on very opposite ends of like the fan spectrum when it comes to the stance against Disney Star Wars and calling the expanded universe Legends.
Yeah.
So
Like,
that's definitely.
I don't think I don't think Theory watches Melvin's channel, because he would have seen a few, like, Melvin's pretty outspoken about him, you know?
I think he gets like tidbits and things told to him.
I think he
like,
just,
you know,
even when he had Melvin on his channel back in the day, he treated him like a bit of a joke, but like he's not.
yes.
He's not kidding.
Oh, yes. That was
not
like
kidding at all.
I remember that stream like it was yesterday, and it was like 2 years back, and it was like all these other guys on top of Melvin being there. Like Star Wars Sith was on there. That other dude
That's right.
that he was trying to do the Rule of Three with before was on there as well, and he was like a gag. It was like, it looked at like as like a gag thing. Yeah, he wasn't taken seriously, and I get it. Like, you know, you see Melvin, the red filter and the mask and all that, and like him, like the Sith Lord persona. Like, I get it, but like that's honestly kind of like some old school Star Wars fan shit to be doing that, and I respect it personally. So I'm not mad at that. But anyway, like, to keep on going at this, nobody watches them. Yeah. To continue, this man Den of Shills, just like, he talked so much shit and made some very wild and crazy accusations that I actually have a very serious problem with. That if someone said some of these things to me in real life, like we wouldn't be speaking. We'd get into some fisticuffs, honestly, because I'm like, you as a man, you don't walk around and say certain things to another man and then expect everything to be all right. He blatantly said F, like, you know, he said, because then Theory tried to bring it back around and saying, so no Melvin, so we can't bring him on. And then he said, no Melvin, F you Melvin, you're a stupid masked B word. And he said, he's like, F you, F your weirdo friends and your Discord people. Yeah, I heard that. And then he ends it all with, I'm not trying to be a dick. like how does that compute in your fucking, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, how does that compute in your damn freaking brain that you're not sounding like a complete hypocritical fool right now? So, and on this platform that Theory let you back onto because you probably needed some more money. So
yeah, like what's that guy even doing back on Nerd Theory? Like,
I have no clue.
This comic that
I have no clue, man. It could be a combination of Theory not getting anywhere with the Rule of Three show, because that show, his numbers for that show was some of the lowest numbers he's done for a live stream that I've ever seen, and he likes those super chats. He likes the engagement for the channel. Like, his channel is stagnant, and I get it. Like, at a business standpoint, it makes sense to do what he did. But then I'm like, go ahead.
That's what it is. It's a business for him. It's not like a fan base thing, you know?
Yes, this is corporate. This is some corporate level stuff. He's no longer like a small. I don't want to hear him say it. I don't care how many times he says it. He's not a small time little homegrown YouTube channel anymore. He's gone corporate. He sells you products, slings merch to you, collects super chats, and he pays taxes on his YouTube channel because he's in a different tax bracket now because of what has elevated and built up to the channel. So
exactly, yeah. And then Steve's saying, I don't think Melvin ever doxed anyone. That Josh guy lied about that. Yeah, true.
Yes.
Melvin actually has principles. Like Melvin is funny, right? But he's serious about what he's talking about.
Hilarious. He's hilarious, yeah.
But no,
I'm good.
I will say.
Go ahead.
Sorry, on you go.
No, you go ahead.
The only thing I will say, I think, like a select few, a handful maybe of people that follow Melvin are like wannabe edgelords, and they kind of go too far, and they kind of drag everyone else down with them. You know what I mean? There's a handful of them.
Yeah. Some people, you know, like there's always some people in a group that like scream the loudest and do the craziest things that people look at that and they as the representation as a whole. But no, like
responsible for other people. You know what I mean? He does
exactly. This is the internet. Like you played that Clint Eastwood clip at the beginning of this. This is the Wild West. The internet is not hold down to any like moral standards. There's people all over this, and there's good people, bad people, crazy people, very laxed and empathetic people. It's all kinds. The entire world's on the internet, so this is just what you should expect. So, but anyway, going back and to kind of like wrap up like my gripe with all of this, like Theory kind of brushed it off, saying he thought it would just be entertaining to bring Melvin on, kind of doubling back to what you said, where you said like Melvin's not really taken seriously. Like he thought Theory looked at it as an opportunity to just gain like a little more traction for the stream, to have him on there as like an entertainment factor. So like that can tell you right there enough what he thinks about it and the whole concept that Melvin stands for. And he says, and he gets told no, like by Josh. So I'm like, dude, like this guy's telling you and dictating your channel and your stream right now. That's wild shit to me. That's wild shit. But then at the same time, he probably is listening to Josh on that note, because there was probably some stipulations to bring Josh back on his end, on his part.
Oh, you think he said he wants a bit more kind of speaking power or something? Or...
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that in a way, yes, maybe, but he also probably had to give Josh a deal to bring it back, because a lot of people liked that show, regardless of what they talk about and what they stand for. A lot of more people like the Nerd Theory show versus any other show that he's done on his channel.
Well, so Josh used to talk about like how hyped he was for sequel content, and then all of a sudden he was like, Star Wars is dead. I don't want to be toxic. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Oh yeah, so dude. Yeah, no.
It's and then obviously it's so like it's not. It doesn't feel like natural, like how he's come back, and it's like
nope.
He's starting to spit out all these fake news rumors again just to get hype going, and that's all he does for that stream. He brings.
Yeah, man. I don't want to hear it. The guy dressed as Rey. And it's documented.
He loves
I don't want to hear it. And that fake rage that he has, and the fake like tough guy act that he tries to put on. I'm not one to like sit there and throw threats to somebody. But if I was in person and you said some of the things that you said, I would not stand for that. I would definitely put some hands on that person. Yeah.
And like I did that stream a couple of weeks ago. It was Skrantina Theory, right? I basically just broke down their entire stream, because I listened to it while I was at work, and then it was crazy how it was like the perfect scapegoat for talking about all these talking points, because these guys just spit out fake news after fake news. Like their talking points are like so casual. It's insane. And they talked for just under an hour about how Disney is terrible, Disney's destroyed Star Wars, and then the very next thing they said, oh, but Ahsoka season 2 looks hype, looks fire, bro.
Yeah, and then they'll turn around and say like, oh, Mandalorian movie, I hope it's good. Like, what? I hope the next Disney project, even though I've been talking shit about all of them, I hope the next one is great and that I like it. That's bizarre to me, bizarre way of thinking.
Like self-proclaimed George Lucas purists, but like they're hyped for Ahsoka, they're hyped for Maul Shadow Lord, fake Darth Maul lore, the next Jedi Fallen Order game, like anything, the next Dave Filoni animated thing, they're excited for it, and they know it's going to be terrible.
Yeah,
but the thing is, they push it on their casual normie audience.
Yeah,
that's not preserving George. That's not honoring George Lucas. That's pushing fake Star Wars.
There's a lot of susceptible people and very gullible people that follow their channel and follow that stream that they do, and they just take their word as bond. And like for example, they were speaking on the death of Chewbacca last night. They were saying things about the death of Chewbacca, and this man Theory only was like, oh yeah, they left Chewie on a planet and he got crushed by a moon and he died. It's fucked up. And I was like, dude, that's such a crazy way to just like summarize that, and that's not even covering how that happened.
They summarize it and they brush it off, and it's like, because I remember them talking about that, because Theory listened to his abridged audiobook version, full of filler, right? And then he said to Dash, he was like, so is Chewie dead, aye? And he's like, what, a moon crushed him? Yeah, he's gone. And then him and Theory and Stupendous Wave were like, oh, it's so stupid, man. It's like, have you when I read Vector, I think when I read Vector Prime, like I sat the little Jenna can tell you, I sat the book down for like 10 minutes. I was like, I knew that was coming, and it still hit me hard.
Yeah, man, like there's a lot of books that build up to that moment. Like there's a lot of things that happen in years that build up to that moment. It's not like, oh, Return of the Jedi happened and then tomorrow Chewie dies. It's not it's not like that. The way that they say it is like very abrupt and very no context.
Exactly. And that's the kind of thing they say that puts people off, and people aren't going to read it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
they're just going to wait for the next Disney trash, you
It's
know?
19 books.
It's over 20 books, man. Oh,
stressing out about that shit. Crazy.
Imagine being disgusted at all of the Star Wars you could be reading. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then you can highlight Soul Assassin's first chat. What's up, Soul Assassin? Good to see you.
Sorry,
but he said it's like he said, a lot of people in the chat, in that chat particularly, didn't even know Chewie died in the EU. They didn't even know that happened.
Like I still consider myself like an EU noob, and even I knew that happened.
Oh yeah.
You know, like you know this stuff if you're interested.
Yeah, I actually read that in one of the Ultimate Guide books from 2004, I want to say, the one with Darth Vader on the cover. And that's how I found out about Chewbacca's death. And I was just like, oh, well, that doesn't really like ruin it for me, because the like emotional momentum and build up for that moment, I have no idea what that is. So I have yet to read that novel, but I'm going to tell you that like I definitely have like read the excerpts and the chapter points of that moment, and it's a lot heavier. What it does to Han Solo is absolutely like crushing. It's like no pun intended, but yeah, like Han Solo is messed up from that and has like disdain for his child. It's honestly it's messed up.
I've been slacking. Like I'm still on the 5th book in the NGO, so I've been slacking, but like. It does it doesn't just die and then he's gone. Like it layers over everything. It's in the background, everyone's minds the whole time.
Yeah.
It's devastating. Like it's heroic. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, and they did it very respectfully.
Yeah, and you know, just to wrap up like my nerd theory like tangent. Den of Shills, Joshy Boy, he hates that being called that, I've heard, so I call him that. But Joshy Boy, he definitely needs to relax with his rhetoric, relax with his accusations, because anyone can be exposed on here, and especially somebody that has as much content out as he does and puts his life out there, and especially after the whole debacle with his comic book not being published, and he raked in a whole lot of money from people, and a lot of people are still waiting on that content and that comic book to drop. He should really be careful with the way he's like swings his weight around. So that's all I'm going to say about that in that regard. And then the last thing I also wanted to say was he threw out like very crazy accusations, and I'm not going to sit here and go too deep into detail about it, because I am on the Knights of Melvin Discord, and I'm not going to discuss that a whole lot, but I will say that he insinuated and accused of certain things being placed inside of the Discord that was very distasteful things to say, that you like I said, that you wouldn't say to another grown man, or you'd have to answer for it. So he should really be careful about the accusations and what he insinuates, and like trying to say that certain people need to be reported by 3-letter agencies in our country. So I will. That's all. I'll leave it at that, and that's all I have to really. That's all I have to really say.
The last thing I'll say is like, I just lost my train of thought. Like he was talking about how he like lurks or whatever. I don't think he does. I think he has
if he's lurking in the wrong thing.
I think he has crybabies from his chat. Reporting the fake news that was on Twitter and stuff like that. We won't get into it. I don't want to spread that crap, but I think he's heard those fake news rumors, and he's just no research, just saying that's true. All this crap's going on. Yeah,
you should have very much.
I don't think he's talking about Melvin's Discord. I think he's talking about the fake one that doesn't exist. So
he was he was insinuating it because he brought up Melvin's Discord, and you're talking about Melvin. Then you say things in a Discord around Melvin. Then yeah, that's definitely insinuating that you're talking about his particular server.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah, he's zero research, zero evidence, just the norm for that guy. So,
and then he also, I know I said I'm going to end it, but he also made a slight saying like, oh, what's it called? Like people that don't like show their face and people that are anonymous don't deserve the same rights as him, and we need to be rounded up and herded. Like, what exactly do you mean by that, my guy? Like, what do you mean by that when you say that, herded up and rounded up, and then what? Like that's some real like dictator like tyrannical like rhetoric that you're kind of throwing around.
He said that on the last stream as well. I think it's more of just like his pretentious.
Oh yeah, well he doubled down last night. He doubled down on that, and all this talk of like free speech in our society in our world right now. This clown is someone who definitely wants to deplatform people that critique and call him out on things. I could definitely see him being someone that was okay with like the deplatforming of like attempts made against like people like Ryan Kinnell or like Geeks and Gamers, like people that complained about them. And I don't know exactly if Star Wars Theory was named in that deplatforming report.
He was like a side note, but
I feel like he was kind of a side note, but yeah, he like made it about himself, made a big old video like calling out Star Wars Explained and all them. So it was definitely interesting to me, but he's bashing like the anonymous method, calling it lacking accountability and like quote like you're hiding something or you have a weird deformity. And I'm like, this is like just crazy things to be saying about people, man.
He's triggered.
yeah, he was just ranting very emotional stuff to say, and things like we trust through seeing. And I don't need to see someone's face to hear like conviction in their voice personally. Like I can like you didn't show your face for something, and I was just listening to you talk, and I'm like, oh, like you sound like a solid like a solid person, and like you actually care about what you're talking about. Like I feel that way when I listen to Narrow Dark, or I listen to Captain Keeley. I listen to I listen to Melvin. I listen to people like Robot Head and other people like Mauler. Like there's a lot of people that are very successful on YouTube that are anonymous, more successful than you, Joshy boy. And they don't show their face, and people know the kind of person they are by the type of things that they talk about, their stance on topics, and their conviction. Like it's honestly not that big of a deal. But he wants to go that route, and he says, like I quote and quote, he says, the anonymous route is very reptilian in manner. And I'm like, it's very funny to say reptilian when you're kind of like a snake for what you did, stealing money from people. So
a couple of snake oil salesmen. Yeah,
definitely. That's and I'm not knocking people that push merch. And I want people to like, I'm a capitalist, and I'll admit it. I'm definitely not a communist. So I definitely want to see people like make money and do well on their businesses. But when you're sitting there and promising something to people, and then you take the money and you don't fulfill that promise, that definitely looks some sort of way. You look like a scam artist. So that's all I'm going to say. I appreciate that, Soul Assassin. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, everyone's subbed to Decrepit. I saw Steeg's chiming in. He says, I was probably on about 500 streams, never showed my face. Like Steeg's someone that was a big influence for me starting a channel. Like Steeg, I got a lot of knowledge from that guy. You know what I mean? He never showed his face once.
Yeah.
Knew what he was talking about.
I have no problem showing my face one day. I would like, you can quote me on that too. I would like to do that. I would go to a meetup. Like there was a EU meetup with people, and there was Matt Wilkins, Ryan Kinnell, shout out to Star Wars Marvel Purist, Free Purist, # Free Purist. Get his channel back up on YouTube, you bastards. I definitely have no problem going and meeting up with people that I've met and came across on this community. It's just not the right time for me right now. I have a lot of things going on, and I'll do that when I get a little more things moving under my belt and have more content out. I'll like it one day, I will.
there's cons to it. I get called like Harry Potter all the time by like triggered Disney fans.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like Star Wars theory. Never should have showed his face because when he streams, he looks bored and unenthusiastic.
It's bad. And
I'm not making fun of someone's appearance. I'll never make fun of like somebody's appearance because I'm not out here saying I'm like built like Sean Connery or looking like a handsome gentleman, but I definitely don't.
You just sound like it.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
But you're talking about the way he expresses himself. He's not enthusiastic. He's not interested.
It just doesn't come off genuine.
Notices it.
The time that I see him when he's smiling and looking happy is when he's at a convention signing autographs and selling lightsabers. That's when he looks happy.
Or something recognizable comes on Disney Star Wars.
Yeah. Soul Assassin said I would show my face, but I'm not looking for love. That's funny, dude. I like that one.
But we can.
But yeah, that's all I have to say about it, and you guys can clip me on it or whatever. But yeah, Nerd Theory sucks. Den of Shills, he can go F himself.
I'm sure we'll see plenty more cringe stuff coming out of that stream, but we could probably talk for a few hours about how nonsensical they are, but
yeah,
we're here to talk real Star Wars, so it's not every week we get a guest on the Skrantina, and I want to make the most of it, so this is the next part of this stream is going to be a bit more of like an informal interview kind of thing. It'll just be a chill chat anyway. So we'll take a little 2-second break. We'll play a clip and then we'll get chatting with Decrepit and see what he thinks about real Star Wars. So
Hey-o.
Let's play a clip that something that you might find on Decrepit's channel. Let's see. Nothing bad. Here we go.
You're in command when you wear the Darth Vader voice changer. Terrify the galaxy with Vader sounds. His voice.
Join me. It is your destiny.
And real movie phrases from the Dark Lord.
Don't make me destroy you.
What is thy bit, my lord?
Take out the garbage.
Yes, my lord.
You can control your galaxy when you wear the Darth Vader voice changer. Each sold separately, batteries not included, and lightsaber gloves and cape not available. Star Wars. You can battle for the galaxy with new Episode 3 lightsabers. You can choose Obi-Wan's lightsaber with Force vibration. Train with Jedi Master Yoda.
What will you have?
And choose your destiny like Anakin Skywalker.
He chose the dark side. What if I do too?
With the Darth Vader voice changer, the transformation is complete.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
New Star Wars lightsabers and voice changer. Each sold separately. Cape and batteries not included. Ask an adult before going online.
Oh, you can to Hasbro.com. Star Wars. The battle for the galaxy has begun. Which side will you choose? Good or evil? The way of the Jedi or the dark side of the Force? Episode 3 figures and vehicles. Collect the whole set.
To capture all the excitement of the new Star Wars Revenge of the Sith toys, we knew we had to give away something big, something really big. We had to give away the ultimate Star Wars Episode 3 prize pack. Enter today at CartoonNetwork.com, and you could win a galaxy of prizes. 500 runners-up will receive one of these electronic lightsabers. The grand prize winner will get all 4, plus an armada of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith toys. Star Wars Galactic Heroes, Force Battlers, Episode 3 action figures, and the Darth Vader voice changer. Enter now at CartoonNetwork.com for your chance to win all of this, plus interactive call-upon Yoda, battle arenas, blasters, a battalion of vehicles, and the biggest vehicle of all, a 6-foot-long Naboo starfighter, and even more Star Wars toys. The ultimate Star Wars Episode 3 prize pack. It could be all yours to control. And make sure to check out all the toys in your local toy store April 2nd.
Awesome.
Such good content.
It's so cool. I've got the voice changer up there, proudly sporting that. So
I'm such a collecting snob. I want one sealed, still in a minty box.
I remember it distinctly. I was at my grandmother's house because I'm a twin, right? So she had.
Oh yeah.
So she had to buy 2 of them. These like Darth Vader helmets, and I remember like the Revenge of the Sith like casing, and it was so cool, man. It was awesome.
My brother got the helmet for Christmas, and I remember I got the lightsaber building kit. I don't know if you remember that one, but it was like
No,
a bigger lightsaber kit that had like different hilts and different things that you like slid on like the handle, and
Oh,
to like to design your own lightsaber like concoction, and you had like 3 different colored crystals, red, blue, or green, and that was something that my mother actually put on layaway at Walmart for like 2 months in order to get it for me for Christmas. So I wish I still had that. I wish I still had that.
The only one I had was the Anakin one that switched from blue to red.
Oh yeah, that was a good one too. I think I had that one.
Yeah, I remember like the day I got it, I poked my brother in the eye with it, so
nice.
Kind of put a damper on it.
I'm sure he deserved
it. Well, we used to fight with sticks in the front yard.
So,
and,
I had a friend that made lightsabers out of those paper toilet rolls.
Yeah, we used to do that and like color
tape like construction paper to make the blade, like red and blue construction paper, and then tape it to like a toilet paper roll or a paper towel roll, and then with Sharpie make all the buttons and the little clip on there, and like use tape as a clip.
That's clever.
Oh, so fun.
We used to do that and then just tape it up to heck so that it wouldn't break when you were hitting with it. So,
you'd get like 1 or 2 wax in there, and then you'd have to rebuild it.
yeah. So we're going to get into the questionnaire where we'll see what people are saying real quick before we get into it. So Assassin said, "Don't kid yourself, Scran. You're better than Potter. Milo from Atlantis."
He would be a Milo if he shaved and wore the glasses. Yeah,
I've got the glasses. I'll probably shave someday soon. I'm going for more of the Obi-Wan episode 3 look. So
you totally could be in the Obi-Wan fan film.
Speaking of Obi-Wan, Steve Kenobi says, "I look like Ewan McGregor's scruffy, steamrolled cousin." You are.
Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones. Obi-Wan. That's always the one I refer to as like the long hair, the hair.
Jedi mullet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember wanting one of those Vader voice changers, dude. Like it's like movie quality. It's like pretty movie quality. It's very good. It's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cool. It's awesome to see you guys having a good time in chat, like reminiscing and stuff. So, there's Andres. Scran can only leave the mustache and the Commissioner Gordon and be Commissioner Gordon.
I like that one too. Are you a Batman fan like that, Scran?
Oh yeah, because we were talking about comics earlier. Like a lot of the comics I read. Well, I say comics. It was more like graphic novels. And it was always Batman stuff that I loved. So maybe I can fish a couple of them out while we're here.
Uh-oh.
Are they even in here? That's the thing.
Be sure to like and share the video, guys.
Oh, there we go. I had a lot more back in the day. I gave a lot of them away to like a friend's like little brother and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorites. It's Through the Looking Glass Batman.
That's a good one. That's a very good one.
I really like the artwork in there. It's like I found this quite influential when I wanted to start like doing artwork and kind of like the distorted kind of. It's really good. It's cool.
Oh, that's good. That's good artwork too. Who did the artwork?
The Mad Hatter as a villain's always interesting. You've obviously.
Who's the artist on the cover of that one?
What's that? Sorry.
Show me the cover of that. I want us to see it again.
Yeah, you got Batman and the Mad Hatter over there.
Okay. It was Sam Keith. Okay. I was curious on the artist.
Yeah, it's a good one. Obviously, Year One's like a banger. It's really good.
Oh, yeah.
This one's really like atmospheric when you read it. Like, it's really
Frank
good.
Miller did such a good job like depicting a new, fresh take on Batman. I love his work.
And obviously, he did like the bookend to it. He did the Dark Knight Rises, right?
Or Dark Knight Returns.
Returns. So I had that. I don't have that anymore. I loved that one.
The animated film for Dark Knight Returns is one of my favorite adaptations.
It's really good. I didn't. Was there something to do with the? Didn't they add something to it? No, I'm thinking about when they did the. Well, here's the Killing Joke. For anyone that's not a Batman fan,
of course.
read the Killing Joke. Really, the ending of this book, amazing.
Alan Moore did that.
wins?
Alan Moore's take on a lot of DC properties is some of the best work in comic books. If you haven't read Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, I highly encourage you to do so.
I used to have a few of the Swamp Thing ones.
Yeah.
We've got A Lonely Place of Dying. I used to have the ones that linked to this with the full story and stuff, but I need to get more of these. But not a big comic book reader, apart from more recently getting into Legacy and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, of course.
What about yourself?
Legacy's a great one.
Yeah, before we start quizzing you, comic book wise, what's your all-time favorite comic book? Doesn't have to be Star Wars, obviously.
Yeah, so one of my favorite, also I will say a Star Wars one, the Dark Horse adaptation for Revenge of the Sith is one of my favorites, just because I actually read the comic adaptation before I saw the movie.
I think I heard you say that before.
Yeah. I read the comic before I saw the movie, so seeing Count Dooku's death in the comic book was a real big shocker to me. I remember I couldn't wait, and I read it on the way home from the bookstore, and I gasped, and I went oh no, and my mom was like, what's wrong? And I was like, they killed Count Dooku, and she was like, aw, she's like, it's a spoiler, and I was like, no, I'm still gonna go see the movie. They might change it, but when I saw that, it was just very jaw-dropping for me. I didn't expect it to happen in the beginning that quick.
Yeah.
But Revenge of the Sith, the adaptation. I'm a big fan of Green Lantern. I don't know if you guys watch some of the Hang Out with Your Floppy streams. I definitely glaze Green Lantern stuff a lot more than other heroes. The Blackest Night saga is one of my favorites, written by Jeff Johns. Just outstanding writing for the lore for the Green Lantern Corps. Some of the best stuff you'll read. I definitely enjoy I'm not big on Marvel. I know that's no secret to a lot of people that are familiar with me. I do like the Maximum Carnage run from Marvel, from the Spider-Man series. That Maximum Carnage is one of my favorites. If you guys haven't already, Star Wars Marvel Purist has content that he threw on Rumble, on his channel on Rumble, for Bane of the Shills. So go check that out. A lot of good stuff to cover that. And I want to say another one of my favorites. I'm looking over at my comic shelf right now. Oh yeah, of course. I'd have to say the Batman and the Outsiders run, written by Mike W. Barr from the 1980s. That's also a good one. It's one of the most notorious stories of Batman quitting the Justice League and starting his own band of misfits. It's all a bunch of former criminals and outsider anti-heroes that he straightens up and basically leads them into becoming heroes of the world. So
cool.
That's a good one.
One of the non-Batman ones I had was Marvel Civil War, the graphic novel. So, but that was one of the Marvel things I'd read before that movie even came out. So I was kind of disappointed with that film when it happened. The book, it's really cool. It's awesome. But I'm not really a big Spider-Man guy, or I don't know what I think I just like Batman and Superman.
Spider-Man's my only saving grace from Marvel, because I can never get into. I know I'm not trying to be blasphemous to Marvel characters, but Spider-Man was the one that I grew up watching the cartoon and then reading a few of his comic books, and also Incredible Hulk too. Incredible Hulk's a good character. I love his story is so sad and a loner, kind of antisocial loner story that it's a misunderstood man on this path to walk the earth and never have a finite place of comfort and rest. So especially if you watch the old TV show, I forget, Lou Ferrigno, I believe is the old Hulk TV show is actually quite sad. Every episode would just end with him walking along a road trying to hitchhike to somewhere else.
Yeah. I was fortunate enough to be privy to a lot of that stuff, because my older brothers were born in the 80s and stuff, so they've shown me a lot of the stuff I enjoy is because I was showing it. And then my dad, I used to watch Hulk with my dad. Starsky and Hutch, that was a big one. That was a really big one.
Starsky and Hutch, yeah,
it's awesome. The original Star Trek and stuff like that. Which like Star Trek, something I've only recently revisited, like through like distaste of modern Star Wars, you know, and loving it. So it's good.
Nice. I told myself I would never be sacrilegious and go and become a Star Trek fan, but some of the older Star Trek stuff is actually quite entertaining.
It's the original series is really good. Me and Lil Jane are about halfway through the Next Generation. We've seen all the movies from the 80s and stuff, so just working our way through it. It's awesome. But it's different. Like Star Wars is just a different level, you know.
Oh yeah.
So we'll get into it. We've been going about almost an hour now. We'll need to start quizzing you and seeing what you think about real Star Wars. So,
yeah, of course, man.
Everyone in the chat, like, thanks for letting us know, like, your favorite comics and stuff like that. It's awesome. And going forward, like, all these questions that I'm going to ask Decrepit, like, feel free to drop your answers in the chat as well.
Yeah, guys, participate.
We'll try and read them out as we go. So maybe time to get the spectacles on. I can't see very good. Right. Decrepit's in the hot seat. Some of these are pretty generic, but just bear with me.
Yeah, no worries.
Warm up. This is all right. Right. Okay. So getting into it, what's your oldest Star Wars memory? Like, what got you into it?
It was actually my mother. My mother got me some of the Power of the Jedi figures from Walmart, and I got a Darth Vader, the Obi-Wan, and an R2-D2 figure. And I want to say I was about roughly I had to have been 3 or 4 years old when I had them, and I would just hold on to them and play with them and take them with me on a car ride or to the doctor's or to a family member's house. And I just thought they looked cool. And then I think I was 5. And that was when my mother was like, oh, you want to watch the actual movie? And so she rented out, I'm going to age myself. We rented it from Blockbuster Video, the VHS tape of Star Wars. I watched the special editions first. Don't hound me, don't kill me, don't knock me down. But I watched the special edition of the first Star Wars movie for the first time. That was my first experience. And then I watched Empire Strikes Back. And then I believe I watched Return of the Jedi a few months later, because my mom was really precise. She tried to get me to have some anticipation to watch the next film. So she showed me the first movie and then got me a figure of Boba Fett, and I was like, what movie is this one in? And she was like, oh, then watch Empire Strikes Back. And Empire Strikes Back just devastated me when I first watched it. I was like, oh, all is lost. Darth Vader's his father. What? My hands above my head, just freaking out. And then the anticipation was killing me. And I believe it was I want to say 2 or 3 months later, getting towards the holidays of Christmas that time. And that was my Christmas present. Was her and my dad rented Return of the Jedi for me, and I watched Return of the Jedi on Christmas Eve on that particular year, and I was just blown away. I was blown away with the ending of that movie, and Return of the Jedi became my favorite Star Wars film. Probably is to this day. Probably my favorite Star Wars movie is Return of the Jedi. And
wow,
the Ewoks, you could say I've talked about this many times. The Ewoks, you can bag on them and what George's choices were, but every scene with Luke and Vader in that movie is just absolute perfection. Absolute
the Ewoks are there for a reason. The Ewoks are there for a reason. It counters the serious stuff,
It definitely does, but there's also some gloomy feelings when you watch the battle with the Ewoks fighting the Imperial stormtroopers. You're just these guys are gonna get freaking slaughtered right now. There's no reason these guys should be fighting them, I definitely, it felt really hopeless, because when Empire Strikes Back, it ends hopeless. And you're watching Return of the Jedi, and you're like, oh my gosh, I hope, how are they going to get out of this? How are they going to overcome this hurdle? How are they going to beat Vader and the Emperor? And then you watch what happens, and I honestly, as a young kid, I didn't comprehend the turning of Vader back to the light, and it kind of it confused me, and I had to like grow up a little bit more to like know exactly what entailed Luke to be able to do that. And
I understand. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, because I remember being like, "Wait, he wins by not killing him? Like what?"
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
then,
you know, and then like
yeah,
it was tweeted the other day. I think it was Narrow Dark or somebody that tweeted it, and I retweeted it saying like it's one of my top 3 scenes in the original 6 films is when Luke tosses away that saber and he says, "Never, you failed. I'm a Jedi like my father before me." And like it's just like the ultimate like defiance against the dark side, but he defied the dark side with love, and it's just so powerful, dude. Yeah,
it's genius. It's genius. And then you think to yourself, like, if I was in that situation or a similar situation, would I make the same choice? You know, and
exactly.
You'd like to think that you would. So
the ultimate test of like the human spirit and the will and power of good and moral good of.
But it's just dumb Ewoks, guys. Speaking of Return of the Jedi being your favorite movie, we have OG Star Wars in chat saying, "What's
hey,
up?"
Laura, how's it going?
I almost forgot about this interview. How could you forget? Were you too busy being the EU boogeyman? We've got
play your clip. Play your clip.
Play the clip.
Play it.
Yeah.
Every time you play it, I love it.
And then we've actually got Dan Blackroyd here. He's are you singing it? Is that Radiohead? None of this is actually happening.
No, he said like none because Phantom Menace is the only Star Wars project produced by George Lucas. So everything we're talking about is just fake news.
It's just fake lore.
Yeah,
so I have here the complete Star Wars saga, all episodes, 1-to-1, and this is the version where we've got Puppet Yoda.
Puppet Yoda.
Nice.
Cheers for being here, folks. Gabriel Knight's here. Thank you. Good to see you.
Cheers.
We got all the OGs in chat. Awesome.
Cheers, guys. Shout out to the gatekeepers.
Yeah, like it. I go subscribe to the Gatekeepers Alliance and all channels affiliated thereof. So, like, I mean, this is obviously your interview, but like when I got into Star Wars, I did. I was 4 years old, and it was every morning before we went. I guess you guys would call it kindergarten. We went to. It was called nursery, right?
Yeah.
So we'd go there, but every morning before we went there, we'd watch Return of the Jedi, and it was like my dad like recorded it off a TV on a VHS. So like,
nice.
You had all these like cuts where like you skipped the commercials and stuff like that. It was funny. So like, I've got like Return of the Jedi like ingrained in my mind, and then I'm pretty sure I saw A New Hope next, and then shortly after Phantom Menace came out, and that was everywhere. Like it was absolutely everywhere. And then I saw Empire Strikes Back on. It was the special edition, and I just remember I was in my brother's room, and he was like, "In this movie, Luke kisses his sister," and I'm just like, gross.
Oh no!
But it was like it had like all the stuff at the start with George Lucas talking about like making the movie and stuff. It was cool.
Yeah.
And then I remember I was about 7. I think I was just turning 8 when Attack of the Clones came out, and I saw that in theater. And then I was about 10 when Revenge of the Sith came out. Peak Star Wars time.
Yeah, I was when Revenge of the Sith came out. I was about like 10, 11 years old.
Yeah, we're about the same age. So next up, you already kind of answered this. It's kind of a three-parter question. So,
shoot,
what's your favorite original trilogy movie? Return of the Jedi.
I was gonna say Revenge of the Jedi. That's what it was called first. But yeah, Return of the Jedi, man. The father-son dynamic. You know, I love my father in real life, so like I would seeing like somebody that would be able to manipulate or like take advantage and control like someone that you look up to, such as like your father figure. It's very terrifying, very scary thing to think about, you know. So that movie like put the fear of the dark side in you when you watched it.
Because you'd still love him, wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course. And like this is the first time you see the Emperor in that film on screen. Is the first time you see, or you know, if you're not counting his video call with Vader over the hologram, you know. But like this is the first time you physically see the Emperor, and to see someone that's just so small, frail, old, looks like he's gonna fall over if you tapped him on his shoulder, but that's the most powerful being in the universe at the time. And that's just, it's a wild thing to bring to concept and bring to life on screen. So definitely, yeah, Return of the Jedi is just amazing.
Yeah, I think that's the right answer. Like most people will say Empire is the best movie, but Return of the Jedi is your favorite one, right? So yeah, right answer. And second part of the question, let's see, your favorite prequel movie.
My favorite prequel, Revenge of the Sith, for sure.
Yeah,
that's when the fall of the Republic, fall of Anakin Skywalker into Darth Vader, the death of so many Jedi. It's just such a, again, hopelessness, a lot of hopeless feelings in that film. A lot of jaw-dropping things, like seeing Anakin set on a flame on the bank of one of the lava rivers on Mustafar. That's such a riveting, like really like eye-opening scene. And like when I first saw that scene, I was crying. Like I was just like very emotionally wrecked after seeing that happen. So but there's a lot of you know, hopefulness. George hits you with a lot of horrible things that happens to the characters, but there is hope. There is hope at the end of the tunnel. There's always a little bit of light. So
yeah,
George has always been great like that and depicting that on screen. So Revenge of the Sith was, and the lightsaber battles and that. It's, come on, man, choreography, amazing.
Yeah, it's I find it like when you read, it's kind of like when you read the novels, like you're drawn more to the philosophical stuff and the emotional stuff as opposed to like space battles. In the movies, like sure, the lightsaber battles are cool, but there's so much more going on underneath. That's
like
really
some of my favorite things too that are going on, and you see it as well, like depicted. There's some deleted scenes from Revenge of the Sith that I really am upset that George left it out. You know, like the things with Anakin and Palpatine, and they're like back and forth of like Palpatine low-key kind of like seducing Anakin and putting the doubt in his head, planting the unassuredness that the Jedi don't even trust him, and like you know, I always have your best interest at heart, and things that like that. You know, that's amazing writing. The dialogue in the novel when it comes to that stuff is just superb. Matthew Stover was writing canon, and he did an excellent job.
Like what I've read of Revenge of the Sith was like the whole intro, like the movie hasn't even started yet. It's all about how like Obi-Wan and Anakin are like seen as these heroes, and like it's really cool.
You get like the perspective of like regular folk, like seeing like the reports and like the heroism and the acts of like the Jedi Knights that are like always shown off on the Holo News. So
yeah, it's awesome.
It's good stuff.
OG Star Wars is saying reminder October 27th at 12 PSD talking EU with Scran. Yeah, nice. I'm going to be in Decrepit's position on that day. So
yeah,
awesome. And she's got another one coming up soon as well. And go check out her Talking EU playlist. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last part of the question, like how would you rank the movies, like favorite to least favorite?
Return of the Jedi. Oh, from favorite to least favorite: Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, Empire, original Star Wars, of course, Phantom Menace, and then Attack of the Clones is my least favorite.
That's identical to mine. I was like, is he going to say
I wouldn't be surprised if that's a lot of the sentiment shared by a lot of the fans that share like our views on Star Wars as a whole. But yeah, Attack of the Clones, you know, it's not the best written one. It's not the the acting in it and the dialogue is very clunky. Not my favorite, but you know, at the same time, Anakin, I don't blame Hayden. I blame George for directing it how he did, and I don't think that Hayden did a bad job or he was the wrong guy for the role. It just comes out a little like odd. But at the same time, it could also be George's master plan to make Anakin seem very awkward as like a Jedi Padawan that was taken away from like a normal life and then being told to acclimate to this different lifestyle. And then he definitely goes and has to be around Padme and or other people and then try to forget his upbringing and his mother. But that's kind of something that can happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think it's perfect, but I think there's like method to the madness kind of thing. I think
yeah, that's what I was trying to I can't articulate it right. And then Gordon's probably like saying, just go and blame George Lucas like a shill. Yeah, like, well, you know, George is a human and he's not the most perfect human being, but he made one of the most perfect franchises
I think the wooden dialogue is like very on purpose. I think I'll send you a video that I saw ages ago.
Yeah.
It talks about how he's like the king of wooden dialogue.
Yeah. I think that there should have been I'm not going to say there should have been another film to tie in the Clone Wars because
another film would have helped. Yeah.
It would have helped, yeah, but the 2D animation that we got from Cartoon Network in 2003 is perfect too. So like I don't have a problem with that. But if I just had to pick it, Attack of the Clones is my least favorite one.
It's the least favorite, but it doesn't make it bad either. It's just
if you're putting a gun to my head and making me choose to put these in order, then that's how I would do it.
So wait, where did we get to here?
Yeah, at least it's not Acolyte. Acolyte, Acolyte can't even stand next to Attack of the Clones. So
fake Star Wars, but they'll act like it's like Attack of the Clones is the worst thing ever made. So what's your favorite scene from any Star Wars movie and why?
Aside from Luke tossing his saber in the face of the Emperor, that's like probably one of my favorites. Another one of my favorite scenes is when Luke and Vader are walking the hall on the forest moon and that little base, they're having their little discussion. And he's like, I know, Father. And he's like, so you've accepted the truth. And, you know, you guys all know how it goes. But that's such an emotional pull scene because you actually watch it like now that I'm not a child and I actually can break down the emotion and some of the thoughts that Vader probably had. Like there was probably an instance where Vader probably considered running away with Luke and abandoning it. But then, you know, he needed some more pulling. He needed some more convincing from Luke. So that's one of my favorite scenes. And then from Revenge of the Sith, the scene where Palpatine tells Anakin about Darth Plagueis, his master. That's another one of my favorite scenes. It's amazing.
That whole scene, like the whole like atmospheric thing going on. Like when I was reading Darth Plagueis, like that was in my mind, like that really dark that dark place that scene takes place in.
Cool. And then because when I first watched it as like a younger kid, when I saw the smile that he gives and he says he could save others from death but not himself, I was like, oh, so you killed him. Like I deduced that like immediately, but my brother was sitting there like, oh, like what do you think he meant by that? You know.
So if you could change, we're not being shills here, but if there was one thing you could change about the movies, what would it be? Like, for example, I would maybe like include more Count Dooku stuff.
So one of the things that I would change is I wanted to see like a not being like a shill because it is perfect, but I wanted to see when Vader turned to the dark side in Revenge of the Sith and he's not in the suit. I wanted to see that version of Vader wielding a red blade. I wanted to see a red lightsaber in the hands of like a peak unburnt, no suit Darth Vader. That was like one of my wants in my fantasies of seeing the film. Yeah.
Like I thought, like when going into the movie, I thought that would happen, but then on the other side of the coin, like seeing the blue on blue is also very cool. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, because like it's definitely poetic and very symbolistic or symbolic. I don't want to misspeak. I make up words sometimes.
Yeah,
but
I know
it's
what you mean.
very symbolic of seeing him with a blue saber still, because he walked up on the Jedi Temple, caught them off guard. So he didn't need to like let off that he was a dark side user sometime, I guess you could say, in a weird way, kind of like saying that, but I don't know. There was like it was said in the chat, there was toys where there was a version of Darth Vader that had like a red lightsaber that
I had
have
that
the
one.
suit. Yeah. So I wanted to see it, and then you see him use Count Dooku's red lightsaber to like cut his head off. That I thought he was going to keep that saber maybe, but you know, wishful thinking. Wishful thinking.
I guess he just didn't have enough time to bleed it before Mustafar.
You didn't have time to read the Disney canon on how to bleed a lightsaber crystal.
So your favorite starship or vehicle?
I want to say probably from I'm gonna bring, this is probably a perfect time to bring it up, from the KOTOR game, at the Ebon Hawk. The Ebon Hawk is one of my favorite ships.
It's so cool.
The Ebon Hawk is one of my favorite ships. Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to take a ride in the Millennium Falcon, what's wrong with you? But the Millennium Falcon's definitely top 3 ships. I also like the design of the B-Wings. The B-Wings are one of my favorite Rebellion style ships. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like X-Wings are like the perfect design.
The X-Wing, the X-Wing is one of the perfect designs, same as like the TIE Fighter. It's like stand the test of time. Disney couldn't come up with something, so they just had to make a white and black TIE Fighter, because and they made their X-Wings black and orange or whatever. But yeah, the Ebon Hawk is my favorite ship. I even like Dash Rendar's ship from Shadows of the Empire. What's it called? The Outrider? The Outrider? Yeah, like that ship is a great design as well. I like that.
Cool. I really like the I guess it's not technically a Jedi Star. You know the ones from the intro of Revenge of the Sith? I can't remember
the ARC 170 fighters?
That's it, the ARC
170.
I think they're very cool.
Yeah, the ones. Yeah, you could fit 2 clones in there, and they kind of sat like a Hoth, like one of the Hoth Rebel speeders, or is that were they called speeders or I don't know what they were called. I want to say they're small enough to be considered a speeder, in my opinion, but
maybe
somebody could probably correct me in chat.
I always liked that one from Attack of the Clones.
That one's a good one too,
because it was late. It wasn't until later I realized it was kind of like a homage to. Have you ever seen?
Is that the one where you crunch the front of it and it gets all like, and you can fix it with a button? Nice,
dude. I'm an idiot. I swapped Luke Skywalker land speeder for this.
Nice,
idiot.
Very nice.
But like it's reminiscent. It's like homage to American Graffiti. You know the yellow car that drives around.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Do you have a novel of American Graffiti, by the way?
No, I didn't know there was one.
Well, now I know now I know what I'm giving you in exchange for the Shadows of the Empire hardcover. I got one for you.
We can swap. Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, Gordon said snow speeders. Yeah, I was pretty sure they were speeders. I just didn't
the snow. I know it. Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah, those are cool. So do you identify more with the Jedi or the Sith?
Ooh. Probably in real life, a Jedi. I like to believe
I would have said that.
I like to fantasize and believe. Like anytime I play KOTOR 2, Jedi Knight, like Dark Forces, I go dark side just because I want to see. Even though I know the light side path is typically the canon path to play, the dark side is just way more fun. Like hell, even it's not like force using or dark side using, but Red Dead Redemption 2, I played that game again recently, and I did that game low honor being the bad guy. Like, it's just sometimes being the bad guy is more fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I like the look of Sith Lords. I always have been attracted to like the dark cloaks, the Sith,
cool, yeah.
the Sith tattoos on like Maul or like other characters from like the Star Wars Legacy era with like Cade Skywalker battling like Darth Crate's Sith users or Sith Force users. They just have like the lore and like some of the practices of like the old Sith ways, like Marco Ragnos and Talent. I think it's Darth Bane, but I was gonna say I think it's another one that I can't remember exactly his name, but I wanted to say like Talos. I think that was the name of one of the older lords. But yeah, the Sith lords are very eye candy and gravitational, in my opinion.
Or as Batman would say, does it come in black?
Yeah. I like the black cloak and the red lightsaber has always been my favorite look in Star Wars.
I guess that's like the real question. Like, what color lightsaber would you have?
Red, for sure. Red. If it wasn't gonna be red, then I'd have a green one. Man, dude, like I don't know if it's in canon, but like a dark side force user that has like a green lightsaber would be something that I totally would be down to watch or see. If George ever created something like that, that would have been cool.
I always thought I always liked like blue, but like more recently I like green. But like after reading about Corran Horn, like the silver blade that like can change into like an elongated purple blade, you know what I mean? Like Disney don't have an imagination. Imagine like thinking something like that up.
Yeah, they don't.
If they're going to steal stuff, steal the good stuff.
Exactly. Well, I don't want them. I don't want them to steal anything. I don't want them to steal anything. I don't want them to bastardize the EU. They should just leave it alone.
They need to use that maximum creative freedom. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, Dave Filoni.
Let's see. What's your favorite lightsaber duel within the movies?
In the movies, it's the duel between Anakin and Count Dooku, or their second duel in Revenge of the Sith, because in the book, I know you said the movie, but like referring to the novel, like the mind games that Anakin's playing with Dooku in that duel is really like Dooku has so much overconfidence in the duel that he thinks it's going to go his way, and the Force literally like abandons him mid-duel in that fight, or the dark side you could say, but like he loses the balance shifting over to him, completely abandons him and goes to Anakin, and Anakin changes up his fighting style because Dooku was so used to a particular form that Anakin was using, and then he switches his form against him, and then that's when he starts to be weary and then going for some lethal blows against Anakin, but he's getting every blow is being dodged precisely by him, and it's a very good duel. If you read the book, then you'd know what I'm talking about.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, I love that one.
Again, like hearing you talk about it makes me want to read it. You know what I mean? It makes me want to read it. So,
but also definitely a second top duel is the one on Bespin between Luke and Vader.
Oh yeah, everyone always says Duel of Fates, but not like Empire, like Luke versus
Duel of Fates is great. That's a great duel, but if I'm being personally honest, like the fight between Vader and Luke on Bespin is just like Vader's just playing with him and toying with him, and you actually get to see Luke like kind of actually like kick ass a little bit, because he like Vader gets cocky at the beginning, but then he kind of gets a few times where Vader gets nabbed and jabbed by Luke here and there.
I love it. It's Vader's just toying with him, and then it gets to the point Luke kind of nabs him on the shoulder, right? And then it's right away, it's like, right, nope, goodbye. hand gone. He's like, over,
Yes.
it's over. You know, it's like instant. It's like,
Yeah,
right,
because
okay.
he was like, okay, I let him get a little too close, and now I got to end this
Yeah.
fight. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I'd agree. Empire's my favorite.
And
Well,
then
obviously,
Alora's right too. Like the throne room duel is in Return of the Jedi is that's up there too.
it's
beautiful.
it's awesome. I just feel like it's a bit short. Like I wish it was a little bit longer. But it's not really to do with the duel either. It's like, I don't know. It's not. Original Star Wars is so good. It's not just.
I personally wanted to see more lightsaber play between Palpatine and Yoda. Like that fight was. I wanted more of it. I wanted more of Palpatine. I wanted to see Sidious, or like I'll say like Darth Sidious. I wanted to see more of Darth Sidious's. Like I know he didn't rely on his lightsaber combat as like his main go-to, but when he's fighting with a lightsaber, man, he's lethal. He's just
Yeah, it's really good. And like the Yoda versus the Emperor is kind of like more like it turns into more like force ability kind of thing. It's kind of like
because
how powerful they are. Yeah, it's good.
It's kind of funny because like Count Dooku and Yoda, when they first have their fight in Attack of the Clones, they start out with like force wielding against one another, and then Dooku says like it's clear that our abilities cannot be like shown by like our skill in the force, but by our skill with a lightsaber. And then they fight, with sabers. But then Palpatine and Yoda start out with fighting with lightsabers, and then they revert to their force powers. So
that's a good point.
It's an interesting little look at that.
That's interesting. I had to think about that.
Yeah, I just thought about that like the other day. Honestly, when I had Attack of the Clones on in the background when I was like going through some laundry, and I was just like, "Oh, that's funny."
Yeah, it's kind of like the flip flop, isn't it? That's mad.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who's your favorite character from the movies and why? Like, what makes them stand out to you?
My favorite character from the movies. Growing up as a younger kid, before I saw the prequels, it was Luke, of course, and you know, Luke was really relatable, and I don't want to like put too much of like my personal stuff out there, but like Luke, I grew up on a farm. I grew up on a farm with like father figures, kind of telling me what to do, leaning me in a direction. I didn't have a whole lot of friends growing up, so I had to like my duties were like over at home, and like growing up, I had to work a little bit alongside like doing school. So I definitely like empathized with Luke's plight of like wanting to get out there into the world and see things and do things and just be somebody, be a bigger part of the galaxy, you know? So that was definitely the gravitational thing when I was a child. And then as I got older and the prequels came out, I definitely empathized with Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan was kind of put into like a situation. I'm not going to say a bad or good one, but Obi-Wan was put into this position of like having to guide somebody that he didn't even actually kind of like. He didn't really like Anakin at first, or like really have like a feeling of duty towards this child, but like, you know, I had friends that I was an older friend in like a friend group, and there was younger guys that like wanted to do things or like be involved in, let's say, extracurricular things that were not good things to do. And I tried to lean people towards a way like of like being a good natured person. You know, I try to be. I'm not every day, but I try to be a good person. I try to be leading people away from bad things. So I definitely leaned more towards that, like in the prequels.
Nice one. Yeah, I'm similar. Obi-Wan is definitely my favorite character. I really enjoy characters that they're not quite like the main hero, but they kind of support the main hero. You know what I mean? Like kind of like a Samwise Gamgee or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome answers, man. Um,
Soul Assassin, he said poor decrepit, always worked on the moisture evaporators and never got to go to Tachi Station.
to pick up some power converters.
Exactly. I just wanted to pick up some power converters, man. I don't want to mess with the droids all day.
Giving 3PO a oil bath.
Yeah. No Diddy.
Let's see. So, like, what was it like for you, like, growing up in the prequel era?
Oh, dude, it was magical to say the least. I'm not trying to make younger people jealous, but you just had to be there. Like,
Yeah.
when I remember when Phantom Menace first hit the shelves, like the first thing I would see was the toys, and then I saw like the TV advertisements, and then I would see the posters at the theater, going to watch another movie that wasn't Star Wars, but seeing the Star Wars like advertisements and just the hype around Star Wars coming back and it being actual like original George Lucas movies that were coming back to finish the saga. And the Phantom Menace, I don't remember everything about the Phantom Menace coming out, and I didn't even see Phantom Menace in theaters. I saw it when it came to Hollywood Video, is when my parents rented it on DVD. And this is when DVDs were like a new thing, and there was still like I have it on VHS and DVD and Blu-ray, but the VHS that I bought was like my original copy that my mom bought when like a few months after it released for home viewing. But the merch and the toys were always the biggest thing that like just made me so hyped about it, and seeing a lot of the figures that I didn't see in the commercial or the advertisement is what intrigued me the most. I remember when Attack of the Clones stuff started coming out, and then it was actually after Attack of the Clones finished, and then there was new toy lines for like the Clone Wars, and seeing like figures from like the 2D animation come out, like General Grievous getting previewed and as a figure, like that was just some of the most memorable moments for me. And then getting figures of like actual like clone troopers, and like seeing like the colored like ARC troopers and the ones in like orange and blue and red, the red shock troopers. And then when Revenge of the Sith came out, that was just like ultimate takeover, the last movie that's ever coming out for the saga. The hype was unreal. It was like you couldn't even anticipate how big that was going to be when it was happening. So like I remember Target or particularly Walmart, we weren't that rich to go to Target, but we would go to Walmart, and the entire aisle was like all lava and like Darth Vader and lava designs all over the place, like from that iconic card that was on the action figures to like all the lightsabers, and there was even like the Jedi robes and the cloaks that they were coming out with, and the packaging, and the Star Wars Legos that were coming out. I was a big fan of the Lego Star Wars stuff, and it was just you just had to be there, man. It was amazing. I can't put it into words sometimes.
Like I don't like the only time I ever remember like physically crying for someone to like get me something was like Revenge of the Sith toys, or probably it was actually the second one. It was the Lego Star Wars 2. I was more hyped about Lego Star Wars 2 than the first one, because I wanted to see the original trilogy in Lego form. I didn't know the first one existed. Me and my brother used to stay at my aunt's house. It's a bit more north from here. We used to stay there, and she would let us play her PlayStation 2, and they had the Lego Star Wars. And we were like,
I played it on PS2 as well.
We were like, what the heck is this? And it was flipping amazing.
Yeah.
It was so good, and it was so tongue in cheek, but like respectful and faithful to the movies. And then the second one came out, and I remember I was old enough to know better, but like I still cried for like my mum to pay $20 to like buy it for us. And me and my brother just played it like non-stop.
I played Lego Star Wars 2 on PlayStation 2 as well, And I remember being like super hyped about it, but I didn't have a memory card for my PlayStation console. And so like we would get past like the entire 6 missions for the New Hope storyline, and then we'd turn it off, and then we'd be like, oh, like we have to restart everything. And then we'd get halfway, like we'd pass through all of the New Hope missions and then get halfway through the Empire Strikes Back, and we're like, okay, let's just leave it on. We'd leave the console on overnight and then play it the next day. Play it the next day. If you didn't have a memory card, kids, this is how you had to do it. Like this is just for everyone to know. And we'd play through the Empire Strikes Back and then get to Return of the Jedi, and then my mom would like turn it off, and I'm like, no, I have to restart everything.
That's mad.
It was definitely a pain in the rear end. Yeah.
That's awesome. So we're kind of getting into external stuff here. I'll put this comment up. OG says, having the EU in my life as it continued to roll out is what made Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So we're going to play a little clip to take a little minute break. Everyone go grab a beverage or whatever you need to do. Let's see.
Refill that Stein.
Refill the Stein. I might just have enough time to grab a can or whatever. So let's see. Where's the clip? Here we go.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Everyone, we've got to save the Queen.
We're under attack! Mr. Jar Jar Binks come for comic relief.
Emergency landing on Tatooine.
No! Pod racing is well him.
Love you, Padme. Oh no, Darth Maul! My brains are spilling out!
Oh joy, wind.
This is the weirdest date I've ever been on. I'm out of here.
Go you must.
Farewell. Bye-bye.
Star Wars Episode 1 cans collect all 24 this summer.
Marfalam! Are you downstairs again, honey?
Oh, not now, Ma. Oh, I gotta get out of here. I'm late. Oh, joy! Look out! Got you! Down in front. I'm not worthy. Oops. Sorry.
Hey, pick on someone your own size.
The Star Wars trilogy is back on the big screen, and it's even better with a Pepsi.
Great effects, man.
Yeah.
Nice. Has Decrepit made it back on time?
Yeah, I'm back here.
We're good. I dropped a beer can on my foot, so.
You gotta tap on the top so it doesn't fizz out.
Right, okay, so we're getting into kind of the next chapter of this. What was your first experience with the expanded universe material?
I want to say it counts. A video game counts. It was Star Wars Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight on the PC. I went over to one of my friends' house that was like a big Star Wars fan alongside with me. And he was the friend that I went to with. I went to him to go see Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith in theaters with him, and he was a little more well off, and like his parents like got him quite a few. Like he had every Lego Star Wars set. He had so many of the figures, the lightsabers, and all that, what have you. And I want to say that the video game that he was playing on the computer was the first thing that I saw that wasn't like one of the main 6 films content that I was exposed to at the time. So Dark Forces 2, seeing Kyle Katarn and like watching like some of those cut scenes on like it was just like mind blowing to me. And seeing that it was like live action cut scenes on a video game like that, just like I was like, dude, I'm like, what is this? What is going on? And I was just like exposed to a whole new thing. And then he told me about like the book, and I was like, they make books. And I was like, this is this is like 11-year-old me, like after Revenge of the Sith has already like come out, and people are still like riding the high of Revenge of the Sith, and Star Wars Celebration 3 came out, and George announced the Clone Wars was going to be coming down the line, and I was like getting excited for that, and I just found out about the books, and then that's when I started reading novels. So I read the Splinters of the Mind Eye novel, and then I read this is after playing the video game, of course, and then I read I want to say I read one of the books that was like Scholastic printing, a Scholastic publishing version of one of the Young Jedi Knight books.
All right.
And then I can't remember exactly which one. And then I remember going to the library and jumping way ahead and seeing a book called Star Wars Legacy Exile. And I was blown away because on the cover, I believe it's on this particular cover, it's Leia. She's holding a blue lightsaber. And I was like, what? I'm like, what part of the timeline is this where Leia has a lightsaber? And I read some of it, and then realizing like, oh, like this is her son that she's talking to, and he was like a dark side user. So I got really like carried away, like just a lot of the source books that I was finding at the library, and because the library actually had quite a bit of Star Wars content that they were putting on the shelves, so I was just like downloading so much of it. So, but yeah, it was definitely the video game. Few of the video games that got me into the EU, and then that was the gateway drug into reading the novels and the comics.
That's awesome, man. Like you're talking about how like you found these things and you were like, oh no way, that like what's happening here?
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, that's stupid. Like, why would that happen? But like, it's more like what happens. Like, I need to find out what happens.
Yeah.
You don't decide what happens. This is what happened. You're gonna
learn. When I played Jedi Knight, and then I played Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, and then playing Jedi Academy, like that, like those 3 games, all I cared about was like, oh, like Luke Skywalker is like the ultimate like Jedi master, and he has a new temple. Excuse me, and he has a new temple, and there's like there's other Jedis that are teaching more Padawans. I'm like, this is crazy, this is nuts, this is what I wanted to see happen after Return. Like this is the stuff that I wanted to see happen after Return of the Jedi, and then I found out about like the Solo children, and then the Return of Palpatine. I was like, man, I hope George comes back and makes a movie of all this, you know. So, you know, wishful thinking as a child.
Definitely. And with all that in mind, like, what's your favorite piece of EU material?
Probably Shadows of the Empire multimedia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, multimedia. Shadows of the Empire, like everything with it, the cards, the toys. I'm actually collecting the toy line right now. I'll post it on. I'm pretty sure I posted an EU figure the other day, but it's from the Dark Empire Leia figure, and I have to post them. But I have some of the Shadows of the Empire figures like in the card, and they're like really minty and like collector's dream on the condition of these figures. And I just I love the story of Prince Xizor. And how do you say it? Xizor? Xizor. I love him as a character is so interesting to me, and he's not a human, he's an alien, and they focus like on an alien that's
is that it?
Yeah. They focus on a character they focus on an alien character that the Emperor actually trusted and didn't scoff at, because you know the Emperor and the Empire, they're very speciesist against other species that aren't humans. So it was very interesting to me to see something like that. And the up in the air dynamic of like Luke and Leia can't figure out why she has this like magnetic feeling towards Luke.
Yeah, but it's like it's not. I think my connection. It's either my connection or yours is going a bit weird.
Like, but oh, you're back. Dude, I thought we lost you for a second. Oh yeah, I thought we lost you. But anyway, yeah, like Leia can't put her finger on why she has this like feelings towards Luke Skywalker, even though she said that she loves Han Solo. That was like an interesting dynamic to follow up, and the hunt for Han Solo after he gets frozen in carbonite. Yeah, it's an amazing storyline. For those that haven't read it or listened to the unabridged audio version, I encourage you, go. That's a recommendation for me. Go check that out. Shadows of the Empire. The game is great too. I have the game on PC and Super Nintendo.
Awesome. The only one, because we had the Nintendo 64. Because I think you could get Shadows of the Empire on N64 as well. Yeah, you could. But we only had what was it? Rogue Squadron. I think that was it. That was a good one. Am I lost again? Is my connection terrible? Have we lost Decrepit? Everyone in chat, let me know if we've lost Decrepit. Decrepit is gone. Okay. I don't know what happened.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Is it my connection?
Can you hear me? Is it me? I think it's... Let's see. Invasion. It's Disney. It's Disney trying to shut down the stream. I can't hear Decrepit anymore. You've lost Decrepit. I don't think it's me. It's all good, man. You can try and come back in or or whatever. That's weird. Yeah, let's try this again.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Okay, I'm on my phone. I switched over to my phone. There's something going on with my computer.
All right, no worries, man.
Yeah, sorry about that. Everybody in chat, I apologize.
I thought maybe like my timer kept freezing. Maybe it is me, but I don't know.
I don't know. It was going fine up until this point, so I apologize if it's on my end.
Dan Blackguard says, the Trade Federation is sending false messages to get you back to Naboo. Send no reply.
Uh-oh. That's not good. But if I'm coming in clearly, that's fine. We can finish like this.
Yeah, you're not too bad. I've only got a handful more questions for you. I know you need to shoot off soon, so.
No worries.
Who's your... So you said Shadows of the Empire is your favorite piece of EU media. Who's your favorite EU character and what makes them special to you?
I definitely enjoy characters like Kyle Katarn and Jarek from the Dark Jedi from Dark Forces 2. That's definitely a good one. But probably my favorite EU character is probably Darth Caedus, the solo child that ends up turning to the dark side and turning against Luke and all of them. I don't know per se why I particularly lean towards him, but he was a very, very misunderstood young man that had a lot of a lot of potential and a lot of expectations on his shoulder, and to see a character like him fall, even given the guidance that he had of people around him, such as Leia and Luke, like, you know, like it just shows you how evil and conniving the dark side can be to corrupt even some of the most purest souls. So
yeah, I think that's a good way to put it, because you've obviously got Anakin. You've got Anakin who fell to the dark side, Luke who managed to avoid it, and then you've got someone like Jason who is a good person. Yeah, and it took him anyway. You know, very very well done.
yeah, he's a very misunderstood individual, and you know, when he meets his, I won't spoil it, but like when he has his like clarity moment, it's kind of like, it's, what's the word, bittersweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what's your favorite I guess you already answered that with Shadows of the Empire. So let's see. Oh, controversial question. How do you feel about midichlorians?
I'm not in particularly a fan, because
Really?
when it comes to something like the Force, I kind of wanted it to be more like mystical and unanswered. You know, I didn't really want a precise answer as to what the Force is inside of an individual or a being. So I'm not a fan of like some things being answered and like broken down to a science. Some things I'm actually like, let it be ambiguous, let it be unexplained into the imagination of the consumer or the reader.
Yeah.
So I get, like, it's kind of a basic answer to kind of hit it with. I don't really have like a argument to say, well, this is why they're stupid, this is why they shouldn't be a thing. There's other guys that can articulate that much better than I can, but that's definitely what I would say. I would say I don't particularly think that it's needed to be explained.
No, that makes sense. I was just a bit surprised that, like, because we like have really like common like and like beliefs in a lot of this stuff. Like to me it's like it doesn't really do anything to like upset anything. It's just like a way of explaining how it works.
It doesn't completely, like it was said in the comment section, right, or the chat right now, it doesn't completely explain the Force away and make it like diluted, but it's just, I don't know, it's one of those things that it felt more magical and mysterious in the OG trilogy before George introduced it in Phantom Menace.
Yeah, but maybe just unneeded.
Yeah.
Like,
But you know where George does things for a reason, so I don't have like a too much of a axe to grind on that particular topic.
Right. Okay. I saw where is he? Star Wars Forge. I saw your comment earlier, dude. I didn't mean to skip it. Star Wars Forge. Here he goes. Hey Scran, I've made it out of the hospital. Thank the Force and Darth Plagueis for midichlorian manipulation. I hope you're doing
That's
alright,
good
man.
to hear, man.
I heard he had a fall or whatever. Good to know you're still kicking around, man. Like, take it easy.
Yeah, it's good to hear. Glad to hear that.
Read some EU. Like, keep busy. Like, I hope if you're still. Oh, you said you're out of the hospital. Just I hope you're having fun listening to the stream and just taking your mind off it at least, man. Like, that's not fun. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, man. Be careful out there.
Let's see. Have you got much time left? Do you need to shoot off soon? Like,
I got about like 10 minutes.
Right, no worries, man. Let's see.
I have a family member that's been calling me a few times, and I think they want to know what I'm doing.
All right, no matter. Let's see. Have you come? What's it like for you in the States? Like when you come to like thrift stores and stuff, is it quite easy to come across like EU material?
So a lot of the EU hardcovers and paperbacks that I have for my library of Star Wars books has actually been found secondhand like that in thrift and vintage shops, and for relatively very cheap.
like in my area on the West Coast, it's been kind of picked clean for a lot of like things like the collectible like toys and statues and the collectible aspects. But when it comes to the books, those are kind of a lot of the things that are left untouched by a lot of people, and uh and just like I think the climate of a lot of people when it comes to Star Wars isn't as popular as it is in like the pop culture sense, because like what Disney had a very good hand in making that happen. So not a lot of people are hyped about it and like excited to find things Star Wars related, but we are like us as like OG fans of like the original pre-Disney content. We definitely see that as like a gold mine, and there's so many books that you can find. Recently I actually found the cassettes, the tape cassettes for Vector Prime, the audio book, and I found that at a thrift shop for 50 cents. That was like a come up in its own. And then I found also the cassettes for Dark Force Rising and The Last Command by Timothy Zahn.
Oh,
So
dude, that's cool.
those
Very
were
cool.
actually very good finds of mine recently. And then I also found a hardcover of Tatooine Ghost at a Goodwill for $2.
Nice.
So that was the pickings, and if you're looking for it, you can find it out there for good pricing.
No, that's good to know, because like here in Scotland, like I don't know what it is. I don't find Star Wars anywhere. Like,
well,
I imagine it was like bigger in the States at the time and stuff, but like
for you too,
you're gonna. Tricky.
I'm assuming you're gonna be like moving towards like the Midwest when you come over here. The Midwest is a very untapped market and like gold mine for finding stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah,
Like,
the West Coast and the East Coast have been sucked dry. I got people that come from the West Coast to actually go dig and look for collectible items out in like Utah and Oklahoma and places like that.
That's mad. That's the thing. Like, it's all it will disappear eventually. So I think
there's a lot of EU content that was mass produced, but eventually it'll stop being so readily accessible to find in the wild.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get into the last couple of questions here.
Right on.
If you could ask George Lucas one question, what would it be?
Why the fuck did you sell this franchise? There, okay, I let one F word go. Yeah, I would want to know. I know he was. We all know the answers to this question in our own right, but yeah, I definitely I would have liked to have seen him not sell it. So that would probably have been my question to George. He was getting older, and I know everybody knows the answers that he's given and the things that we've learned from like the biography book written by what was that guy the guy that owns or the CEO of Disney,
Bob Iger.
Yeah, Bob Iger. He wrote down in his book like, oh, he was getting old and he wanted to see someone or see it go with someone else. But yeah, why'd you sell it, George? Why?
Yeah, I mean, he wanted to spend time with his family, and he wanted his employees to have jobs and to have stuff to do. So I don't know. Yeah, it's an alternate timeline. Like, imagine Star Wars was still good, Oh, we've lost them again.
Sorry about that. I clicked back for some reason on my phone. It took me all out. Man. Yeah, I fumbled. I fumbled the end of the stream. I apologize.
But yeah, I think that's a good question to ask. I think everyone would like to know, like, what would happen if George did things a little bit differently,
Yeah, I like Blackroyd's comment in the chat. George should have let him take over.
Well, you and George started the whole thing, so he should have let you conclude it.
Yeah,
maybe with a sequel to The Phantom Menace, who knows? There
were no sequels.
The Phantom Menace and only The Phantom Menace. So we asked that. What part of George's storytelling style do you think is like the most misunderstood?
His style that's misunderstood.
Yeah.
Maybe like, are you talking about like as far as like, maybe his like his dialogue or scene or like,
I've lost
good
you.
question,
Sorry.
but like, are you like? I'm here.
I hear you now. I hear you.
Yeah. Oh, I was just saying, like, not to nitpick your question, but are you referring to like the way maybe he wrote dialogue or shot some of the scenes in
Yeah,
particularly,
just
or?
like the way. I guess we talked about it a little bit earlier, but just the way that he made the movies. Like, is there something about it that you think other people maybe misunderstand that you think's really good? Or
I think the I'm gonna double back to it, but actually, like in Attack of the Clones, depicting like the romance between Anakin and Padme, like they already had like that mutual attraction. It's just like trying to get across their point to one another was rather difficult, given their status and their positions in the Republic.
yeah, it was awkward. Yeah,
So I think it's very awkward for this younger kid that called this young girl an angel when he was a child, and then growing up to have this infatuation with her and have this love for her, and for her to know that she has the same thing but to deny it more than he is, and he's the one that's supposed to have like self-control over his emotions. It's very
yeah,
it's very interesting to watch it happen on the screen, and I think a lot of people complain about that a lot, and I think it was not the worst thing I've ever seen George do.
That's kind of what I was driving at. Like, that's a good point, and I think like Attack of the Clones obviously has like the detective storyline. It has all that sort of stuff, but like at the core of it, it is like a romance story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and there was a good point made right now in the chat too, like how George Lucas Star Wars, it was by Gordon, how George Lucas Star Wars is intended to be viewed as like one film split into 6 chapters. I think a lot of people don't have that in their mindset when they view the saga and they
Yeah.
view the story, and people don't realize that you're watching the rise and fall and redemption of Anakin Skywalker, and I feel like that's a good point to take in.
Aye, definitely. And
Yeah.
if George made one more Star Wars movie, what would you want it to be about?
Oh, I'm biased, bro. I would love to see a film of Shadows of the Empire. Yeah, but I feel like there's so much content that came out for that. Like, you don't need a film. But I'm selfish, and I would love to see it.
I heard a rumor that George liked it that much that he wanted to do one. I heard a rumor about that.
Really?
I can't find a source for it, but it's one of those things that kicks about. Scran, get Theory on next. He's the ultimate film fan.
I know, man. You should have a more true, bigger fan.
Theory couldn't answer 90% of these questions that Decrepit has easily breezed through. So,
oh well, I tried, man. I'm nobody, but I try.
Pardon me. No, you're not nobody, man. Let's see. OG Star Wars says, when you read the OT novels, you can see how he knew where he was going with Anakin's fall and the PT. Yeah, like,
yes,
developing something as it goes on is a lot different than just making it up as you go along. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like people are stupid. So, yeah, like I want obviously like we're kind of through our interview here, but in future, like I want to do another Cannonbomb like stream with Decrepit sometime. So
yeah, I'd be down, man.
If we did that, like what piece of Star Wars like EU media would you want to like base a whole stream on? Like if we did that, because I know you're a big fan of the Lego games. You have said that before.
Lego Star Wars would be a cool one to cover, but
Yeah.
I probably would want to put you on the spot and probably talk KOTOR.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that. I've got all my notes from when I've been playing KOTOR on here in case you brought it up. So,
Nice.
because I was originally going to do that with Darth Pause, but he's disappeared off the face of the earth. So, I think you're the next person. Like, KOTOR definitely. So I'll need to complete that and get back to you.
Your list of elusive creators.
Yeah. And the last big one, like what's something you personally take away from Star Wars, like a theme or lesson that you apply in your own life?
There's always hopefulness. There's always hope in this world, man. There's when things seem glum, and I know things going on in the world right now are very up in the air, and a lot of people are very uncertain about the future of things. But people should hold on to hope. Be positive. Be looking forward to something, and life can get better in the darkest of times. So that's what I draw from Star Wars, because Star Wars took me out of a lot of dark places in my life when things weren't going so well. And I'll just leave it at that. You know, not to turn this into therapist Scran, but yeah, like I definitely have Star Wars to thank for taking me out of a lot of negativity and dark spaces in life.
Yeah, man, definitely. And yeah, I hear you. I think a lot of people can kind of empathize with that. So to wrap it up, like what are you currently reading, like within the EU? Is there anything that you're working on just now?
So I've read Shadows of the Empire, like I've read it like the book itself, but I've finished the unabridged audio book that was for free on YouTube. Unfortunately, it's performed and narrated by an AI voice.
Yeah.
But they're because I refuse to pay for the one that they have with like the Legends photo on the cover.
They're not great, but they're good for being free, right? Like a lot of the NGO ones are like that.
Yeah, exactly. So like typically I'm sailing the high seas and finding content that way when it comes to like older audiobooks. If I don't have the CD and I don't have the cassette, because I do have a CD player, I do have a cassette boombox that I listen to these on, but I don't have particular audiobooks that I really, really want to listen to. So I go listening to them the free illegal way sometimes. But yeah, I was listening to the Shadows of the Empire unabridged audiobook, and then I think I'm going to crack open the X-Wing Rogue Squadron novel.
Nice.
Because I've read a few chapters into it and I put it down, and then I was working or I got caught up in real life things, so I have to go back to it. And I think like Wedge Antilles is a really good character, and I wanna go learn more about him.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Nice one, dude.
So
Yeah.
definitely gonna go that route next time around.
Yeah, I know what it's like. I mean, I've still got a couple chapters of Cloak of Deception to finish, and like, oh, dude, it's so good. And Shadow Hunter that I've been doing on stream, like, it's amazing.
Yeah, I've been following that, man. It's been fun following along with you on that.
Really, really well written book. It's cool. It does Maul like justice. It's not like making him like what TCW did. You know what I mean? So
yeah, the author, what's his name? Michael Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a good job on that book.
Yeah, nice one. Is there anything you want to like touch upon or like talk about before we shoot off? Or I know you need to head off soon, so.
Not in particular, man. Just I'm I don't really. I think I pretty much got all my steam out for some of the things that I was like frustrated with earlier in the stream, and
Yeah.
talking with you, and like I hate talking about myself. I hate talking about myself, and like I don't have a problem sharing my opinion, but I appreciate you like asking like like the journey questions and like what I feel about certain things. So I definitely appreciate that, and I'm gonna have to have you on one day so I can counter and do the same thing to you, put you in the hot
That'd be
seat.
good fun, yeah.
Yeah, but no, I think this was very fun, very well done, and I don't think I have to add anything at the moment.
No, cheers for like taking the time to like come on here and chat with me, man. Like I mean, you obviously are a fan of Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to like prize things out of you. You know what you like, and
Yeah, man.
it's not like
Me, just like a lot of people in the chat, and as well as you, we grew up with this, and we put a lot of stake into this because these stories are just so emotionally riveting, and they really hit home with a lot of people in their soul. And you can't really explain Star Wars to some people that haven't experienced it.
yeah,
So
I think that's a really good way to summarize it. Definitely.
I could go on, but I don't want to keep hearing myself talk.
No, you're all good. I'll definitely. If the opportunity arises, I'd like to have you back on sometime. And
Oh, of course. Yeah. If I can make the time, I'd love to come back on.
awesome, man. Like I never thought this would happen. I always thought you were just too busy or whatever. So the fact that
Yeah, caught me
you
at
were
the right
free
time.
is awesome. So
Yeah.
awesome, man. Well, I'll let you get back to what you need to do, and I'll conclude the stream and whatever. But
Right on, man. And if you guys haven't already, if you're watching this and you're just lurking around, make sure to subscribe to Star Wars Scran here. Always a good creator, and his streams are always engaging. He's always talking to people. So shout out to you, man, and keep doing what you're doing.
cheers, man. But don't sub to me. I'm a noob. Go sub to Decrepit. Go sub to
I'm
all
a
the good
noob too,
channels.
man. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, people can pick through. I'm not on the level of people like a Laura or Tim from United Spaces Alliance. I definitely need to get some more research under my belt.
Research is always good, but
I need to research, and
passion
I haven't even read New Jedi Order like that. I'm very, very lacking in that department. So
yeah, the New Jedi Order Renaissance. Get caught up, folks. Get caught up.
Yep.
Because the Star Wars theories books are gathering dust on his shelf, so someone has to read that stuff.
I at least wipe mine down. I at least wipe the dust off my shelf every now and then.
Yeah, treat real Star Wars with respect. So
yeah. And if I can real quick, I will say I am going to continue, and I'm going to bring back the Hangout with Your Floppy stream coming up on next Monday. So I will be making time to get that out to everybody, and staying consistent with that. Unlimited tirade, I'm not going to make a promise, but I will try to make that happen next week. I just have to make sure Narrow Dark and Captain Keeley are on board.
Yeah, I'll do it. That stream's like whenever that stream's possible. Like it's a good laugh, so it's good.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to make that happen. Let's bring it back.
I've not heard from Captain Keeley in a while, so but
he's out there. He's out there. He's just real life has just a lot of stuff going on for him.
Yeah, like Narrow Dark pumps content out really well, and they're both really good guys. So yeah, sub to those guys.
Yeah. Go sub to Narrow Dark for sure.
But man, I'll let you shoot off, and I will conclude the stream.
All right, sounds good. Everybody take care, and I'm only going to say it once. I'll let it slide. May the force be with you all, and go fuck yourself.
On a Scran stream, that's brave. Right, here we go. Right, he's off skis. Right, folks, thank you so much for being in the chat, giving your opinion and your answers on all these questions. I will be going back and checking that out. Thanks to Decrepit for giving up his free, like, 2.25 hours of his free time to chat with us and talk real Star Wars. You could you could go to Nerd Theory and talk nothing and have a meltdown. I guess that would be fun too, but here we are talking real Star Wars with real Star Wars fans. So I do have to shoot off and address some real life matters. So honestly, guys, thank you so much for being here. It was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to maybe getting another guest on here. Maybe we should get Joshy Boy. Should we ask Joshy Boy if he wants to talk about the expanded universe and real Star Wars? Dan Blackroyd says, I'll ask George if he wants to jump on the stream and talk the saga one day. If Dan Blackroyd and George want to come on here and talk Phantom Menace, go for it. Invite him on. Maybe I should get a new Twitter account and just badger Theory and be like, dude, come on and talk Star Wars, blah, blah, blah. I hope you didn't see that. I just spilled that all over myself. But, right, dudes, I'm stalling now. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for being here. Decrepit says, appreciate you all, everyone. Scran, thanks for having me on. Anytime, man. Honestly, anytime. And we'll get another guest on soon. Right, let's play a good clip and then we shall shoot off. Do you want to see Clint Eastwood go into a bar, or do you want Decrepit's clip? Tell you what, we'll play Decrepit's clip and then we'll play Clint Eastwood. Well, Gordon, join my Discord and we'll get you on. Right, here we go. Where is he? Cheers, folks. Long live the expanded universe. Lang may your limbs reek. I should have got Decrepit to say that. Lang may your limbs reek.
Oh,
Aha! Not even Xena is a match for the limited edition double-edged lightsaber from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
You removed it from its original packaging.
No! It's no longer a collectible! Oh, oh, oh!
What a nerd.
I bent my Wookiees.